Okay, folks, today is Saturday, October 22nd. I've been away from the aquaponics system for 2 weeks now due to the weather just being so bad that a lot of roads were closed and I couldn't get out here to check up on things. So now I'm back, and there's not a whole lot of good news this time around. A lot of these plants look good, but the lettuce looks pretty awful. You can see that these all have bolted. All of these plants. These should have all been ready actually a week ago at the latest, because that would have been their 4th week in the system. So now they've been in here 5 weeks, and they're obviously, these have to all be thrown out. And the reason I think they bolted is because we've had so much rain recently that there just hasn't been any sun. And so that stresses the plants out. And when I say no sun, I really mean no sun. It rained here for 12 days straight, literally, without any sun. This is the month that tends to happen in Costa Rica. It's called a temporal. And so because of that, these plants most likely bolted. I don't know what all of the physiological reasons are for bolting, but what it refers to basically is that the plant springs up, kind of like this one. See how it's stretched out here, and it hasn't opened up like a regular lettuce does. And I don't know if that's because the plant is trying to find light, or if it's just trying to go to seed. But whatever the mechanics of it are, what the end result is that these have to be thrown out. They don't taste very good either. They develop a bitter kind of a taste to them. And I mean, these have been in here 5 weeks. They're not going to get better. So these will be coming out. And then over here, these have all been in here 4 weeks. I was half expecting to come and to have all of these lettuce heads ready to go, but obviously not. And so these are all going to be thrown out too, because once they've been in here that long, if they haven't developed into a real lettuce head, then they're either not going to, or when they do, they probably won't taste the way they're supposed to taste. So that's the way it goes sometimes. These just have to be thrown out, and that's just part of the reality. And that noise you hear is more rain. We're still not out of this rainy season, and we might have some more of this. Hopefully I don't have to throw another batch of lettuce heads out, but I will be planting some more today. With these other plants, here we have, this is the largest and best looking cucumber plant I have of all of these so far. Just to give you an idea, those are really nice. I think this one develops the largest leaves because that direction over there is where the sun comes up, and this is aphid screening here. So I think this one gets direct light, unfiltered direct light, and all of the other ones are underneath this plastic material which keeps the UV light out. And I'm wondering if maybe the UV protection with certain plants is maybe not such a good thing, or not necessary. This one definitely looks healthier than all of those, and I can't think of any other reason why. That seems to be the only difference. As far as the cucumbers themselves go, none of these have the plant hasn't set fruit that has gone on to develop into full fruit. They've been falling off. They kind of just dry out like this one. And I had this happen the last time I grew cucumbers, and the last time I did it, that happened for a while, but then after a certain period of time, they did begin to set, and I got a really good harvest last time. So I'm hoping that happens again this time, and I'm unaware of the reasons for why the plant goes through that stage where it sets the fruit and the fruit doesn't develop. But hopefully I end up seeing the same thing with this one, and they do end up setting. And I got a number of other cucumber plants here. This one, for some reason, has had a lot of the leaves have been spotty like that. I don't know what the reason for that is. And there's two more over here. They're kind of hard to keep. They're kind of hard to keep track of because they're all getting mixed up in there. And then we have tomato plants. There are three in there that are kind of mixed up, and I've been pruning them. I've been pruning them the way that people recommend, but they don't look like they're well, they aren't setting any fruit yet. Hopefully that changes soon. And again, I don't know how much the complete lack of sun has to do with that. Probably a lot. So hopefully when this sun clears, I'll have really strong plants that will then produce a lot of fruit. Over here, these are more of these tomato plants. I've got a bunch of them. I don't even know how many there are. I can't keep track of them anymore. And there are two more cucumber plants over here. So hopefully soon we'll have some fruit. But in the meantime, we're going to have to just suffer through this weather and change out all these lettuce heads. I'm going to throw out all the lettuce that's in these gravel beds too. Here's a really good, I think, example of bolting. That's just totally spindly and stretched out like that. I mean, that's obviously not what lettuce is supposed to look like. And that's actually a really good example, I think, of what's going on. So this will just have to be thrown out. That's just the way it goes. I don't know if I'm going to plant some of these lettuce. This is a different kind of lettuce that I grew from seed, but it's also not looking too happy. It's a little palish. So maybe I'll plant one raft bed of this and plant the other kind of lettuce, the butterhead lettuce, in the other beds. But anyway, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Contrary to what some aquaponics sites like to show you, it's not all just totally easy without any problems. There are always problems, and you kind of just have to learn how to deal with each one individually as you go. But anyway, till next week. Okay, so we have all these new lettuce plants planted. I also was able to get more of these cushions, so I'm not using any more gravel in any of the baskets, so it makes for much quicker work. You might notice that these starters are much more developed than any of the other starters I've put in the system. That's just the way they were at the store. I got lucky, and they were more grown out than usual. So hopefully we get some sunny days and these guys get started, and we get back into some lettuce production. I fed some of the other lettuce to the lettuce that I threw out to the fish, just a little bit, and the rest I'm just going to compost. All you can really do with it. So anyway, that's it. Oh, and I also planted some of these plants that I planted from seed. So see how those go.